Beyond the Gates spoilers for the week of November 24-28 reveal that fans can expect Izaiah Hawthorne's eyes to wander to Hayley Hamilton, while Dani Dupree experiences a Thanksgiving nightmare. The CBS soap recently dropped its weekly promo, and despite the preemptions next week, the drama will be fiery hot. It's important to note that there are only 2 brand new episodes that will air, due to the American Thanksgiving holiday. BTG will be preempted from Wednesday, November 26th through to Friday, November 28th. Still, that doesn't mean there won't be plenty of campy chaos in Fairmont Crest during the Monday, November 24th and Tuesday, November 25th shows. So let's get into it. The Beyond the Gates weekly promo opens with Hayley and Izaiah at Fairmont Crest Country Club, in the lobby. She's all dressed up, and so is he, as she sweetly greets him. As the scenes shift, Hayley notes, "What can I say? I'm a fool for love," and walks away while giving him a seductive stare. His eyes lovingly follow her. So will Izaiah fall for Hayley's manipulation? As the preview progresses, Bill Hamilton is at the country club too, and he's chatting with his employee, Tomas Navarro. Bill tells the young man that, "Loyalty matters a lot to me, Tomas. That's why I want to talk about your future at the firm." Is Bill firing Tomas, or maybe promoting him to partner? Tomas looks worried in the video, but perhaps it's good news? Meanwhile, Leslie Thomas is shown next drinking at Uptown when Detective Marcel Malone spots her. The sketchy cop acknowledges her with, "Hello, pretty lady." Leslie has clearly had too much to drink as she slurs, "You're a cop," and Marcel can be heard replying, "Is that a problem?" Ted Richardson arrives at Uptown next and sees Leslie and Marcel sharing drinks at a table. Will Ted get jealous? The BTG promo shows Hayley once again, except this time she is seated with Bill at a table at the country club and is very upset. Hayley lashes out at Bill, declaring, "You knew that your ex would be here, and you brought me here anyway? Why would you do that?" Bill looks both confused and shocked by Hayley's reaction. As the Beyond the Gates preview for the week of November 24th closes, the final scene is of Dani rushing into her mansion kitchen, as there's smoke everywhere. The fire alarm for the home can be heard, as Andre Richardson asks Dani where the fire extinguisher is. Dani replies, "Under the sink." Andre grabs it and releases it into the oven, where a turkey is probably on fire. So here's hoping their mansion doesn't blow up in flames. Beyond the Gates spoilers indicate Dani's attempt to host Thanksgiving dinner may end up being a nightmare for both her and Andre. So here's hoping this is a situation that only brings them closer after the smoke clears. The holidays are here, but several couples look to be in for some trouble, as teased in the latest Beyond the Gates promo. Leslie's getting to know a new man, while Hayley can't keep her eyes off one that isn't her husband. Plus, Andre and Dani's Thanksgiving looks to go up in flames. Even though Izaiah is getting to know Eva, Hayley can't seem to tear her gaze away from the hottie as she flirtatiously tells him, "What can I say? I'm a fool for love." Elsewhere, Bill talks with Tomas and makes it clear that loyalty matters a lot to him and that it's time to discuss his future at the firm. At Uptown, Marcel says, "Hello there, pretty lady," to Leslie, who immediately replies, "You are a cop." Clearly, that isn't too much of a problem for the rule breaker, but it could be when the apple of her eye, Ted, walks in and catches them at a table drinking together. At the club, Hayley lashes out at Bill for bringing her where he knew his ex would be. Why would he do that? Perhaps because he still has a thing for her? Finally, back from their honeymoon, Dani and Andre set off the kitchen smoke detector. We have a feeling that was Thanksgiving dinner that just went up in flames. Beyond the Gates spoilers suggest there seems to be a little chemistry between plastic surgeon Ted Richardson and head nurse Shanice Johnson. The two are colleagues and friends, but the flirting they've slightly dabbled in seems to indicate there could be more. One person who has taken notice is Leslie Thomas, and she's become a tad hostile toward Shanice. Could the villainess's jealousy trigger a romance between the two? Ted is slowly but surely learning to navigate life as a single Pringle. He's separated from Nicole Dupree, as Leslie managed to destroy their marriage. With that said, while Ted and Leslie are moving past prior conflict and becoming friends, Leslie's obsession with her teddy bear continues to create a wedge for anything further to happen. Shanice and Ted's interactions have increased, and BTG fans have noticed the two getting closer at the nurse's station. Leslie has noticed too, and unfortunately, in typical Leslie fashion, she lashed out at Shanice, which caused a scene at the hospital this week. Ted was quick to defend his colleague, so could Leslie's continued bullying of the nurse, who refuses to be bullied, cause him to gravitate toward her? Ted's love life seems to be going in so many different directions. There's always a chance he and Nicole could reunite. Then again, if Leslie continues to show a softer side to him, he and his ex may decide to dabble in something. Still, could Ted pursue something with Shanice? Is this the way storylines are headed? They would make an interesting couple. And while Shanice is a recurring character, so many fans are fascinated with her and would love to see her become a series regular. A relationship with Ted could secure something of this nature, so could they be headed toward a work romance? Their mutual disdain for Leslie could bring them closer, yet also create an obstacle, and the dynamics of Nicole working at the hospital could create some conflict too. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Monday, November 24th, hint some interesting moments in Fairmont Crest. Nicole Dupree shocks her daughter, while Izaiah Hawthorne is given advice, and Thomas Navarro is put on notice. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Monday, November 24th, note that Nicole will give Catherine, Kat Richardson, some shocking advice. Kat may turn to Nicole to seek guidance for all the drama in her life, from her issues with Eva Tomas to her newfound rivalry with her brother, Martin Richardson. Will Nicole suggest Kat tone down her attitude? Even bestie Chelsea Hamilton noted Kat could humble herself a bit, especially since both Eva and Martin are family. Across town, Izaiah gets advice on how to survive the Hawthorns this holiday season. American Thanksgiving does take place the week of November 24th to 28th, and with Christmas right around the corner, Izaiah could use all the help he can get, considering he doesn't get along with his father, Elon Hawthorne. With that said, who will be giving him the advice? His brother, Jacob Hawthorne, Eva, or potentially Hayley Hamilton? In other news for Beyond the Gates Monday show, Tomas will be put on notice regarding his future at the firm. Will this be a good thing or a bad thing? Tomas could get fired, or there's always a chance he could also get promoted to partner. Only time will tell. Read this. Beyond the Gates. Spoilers: Hayley stirs the pot between Tomas, Eva, and Kat to secure Izaiah. Finally, Leslie Thomas will make an unlikely connection with another character. Will she encounter someone from her past that she crosses paths with, or will this be someone who is currently on the canvas? Fans will have to tune in to find out. Thanksgiving is next week on Beyond the Gates. Expect drama, conflict, disastrous preparations, new connections, and only 2 brand new episodes. Once Wednesday hits, it is repeats and preemptions for the rest of the week. But here's a breakdown of what you'll see on Monday and Tuesday. Hayley seems to be serious about pursuing Izaiah Hawthorne. She doesn't care that she's married. She simply wants to focus on this Izaiah side quest while she slowly takes care of her husband, the prominent DMV attorney. "Izaiah, what can I say?" Hayley spouts when she sees Banneker's newest academic advisor at the Fairmont Crest Country Club. "I'm a fool for love," she continues. As Izaiah stares at her, probably wondering what this woman's endgame is. Meanwhile, Bill is working on his own quest, and it involves catching up with Tomas. According to the Daily Spoilers, Tomas is put on notice regarding his future at the firm. "Loyalty matters to me, Tomas. That's why I want to talk about your future at the firm." Is he about to put his employee's job in jeopardy or give him the promotion that he has been working so hard for? Tomas has no idea. He looks scared to find out. Leslie is having a drink when a man spots her and hits on her. Why? It's none other than Detective Marcel Malone. "Hello there, pretty lady," he says. Leslie must like what she sees, even though she immediately guesses he's a cop. She can read people that way. "Is that a problem?" Malone asks. The next second, Marcel is sitting at her table, and they begin to get to know each other. However, Ted walks in and spots them. Will he act jealous, or will he go the protective route? After all, he knows that Marcel isn't totally on the up and up. He was in on those secret Protect Martin Richardson at all cost group meetings they had when they needed to figure out what to do with that bigoted busboy. Hayley plays the fake jealous wifey when she and Bill are dining together at the club. "You knew that your ex would be here, and you brought me here anyway. Why would you do that?" Hayley inquires. Bill just can't seem to shake Dani loose. Dani's not having many problems forgetting Bill right now. She and Andre are living their bliss. They are back from their perfect honeymoon, and, well, Dani and Andre do have one problem. There's a disaster in the kitchen. Smoke is everywhere. "Where's your fire extinguisher?" Andre urgently asks. "Under the sink," Dani urgently responds. Cut to Andre using the fire extinguisher to put out whatever fire they had going on. Did they just ruin their Thanksgiving? On the Monday, November 24th, episode of Beyond the Gates, Kat receives important advice from her mom. Advice that she could use to fix the relationships in her life. Meanwhile, Tomas gets news that may shake up his professional life. On Monday, Kat and Tomas deal with separate issues. First, Kat and Nicole spend some quality time together, during which Nicole gives her daughter important advice that could mend more than one broken bond. This could mean that Kat could repair her relationship with her big brother Martin. Martin hasn't been happy with his little sister lately. He can't forget that it was her words that influenced Samantha into getting into a compromising position with Nathan on the couch of the Smith-Richardson home. And now he has heard the way Kat talked to Eva. He clearly took Eva's side, but maybe there's hope for the siblings yet. The spoilers mention more than one broken bond. They could be talking about Kat and Eva's fierce and brutal rivalry. If not Eva, then maybe it has to do with Tomas. Their relationship has taken hits, but Nicole's advice may help heal that bond even further. Speaking of Tomas, his professional future may be in jeopardy. This makes us wonder how he got into trouble at Bill's firm in the first place. Yes, Hayley used him to make Bill jealous for a hot second, but that wasn't his fault. According to the teasers, he is put on notice regarding his future at the firm. For some reason, this sounds to us like Bill loses faith in Tomas. Does Bill want something from his employee, or does he find something about Tomas that hits him in the wrong way? However, there's a chance that Bill could hand Tomas a promotion. That's what he has been working towards for a while now. In other BTG news, Leslie makes an unlikely connection. She has been so busy trying to reunite and be friends with Ted, and on Friday, she suggested that she and Carlton have something in common, that they both never want Ted and Nicole to reunite. In Friday's sneak peek to Thanksgiving week, she is out and about when she sees our favorite shady police detective, Marcel Malone. Are these two about to get in trouble together? Finally, Thanksgiving is a time to be grateful and give thanks, and for many families, it's a time for an immense amount of drama to erupt. Izaiah is back in the DMV after being gone for years, and he will have to spend time with his dysfunctional family. Before entering the lion's den, that will be his family's holiday celebration, Izaiah receives guidance on how to handle holidays with the Hawthorns. Who does he turn to for advice? It's Thanksgiving next week on Beyond the Gates, which means plenty of drama for the folks of Fairmont Crest, as well as repeats and preemptions for the BTG audience. Please note that BTG is only airing 2 days of new episodes, Monday, November 24th, and Tuesday, November 25th. Then all the newness takes a break for the rest of the week. Repeats are in store for Wednesday, November 26th, and on Thanksgiving Day, November 27th. Meanwhile, the soap is preempted on Friday, November 28th. But no worries, the DMV will celebrate the holiday on the first 2 days. Look for plenty of drama. Izaiah has returned to the Hawthorne fold, and he earned himself a job at Banneker. But being back home means that he now has to handle the holidays with the Hawthorns. Thankfully, he'll get some guidance on just how to do that. While Leslie makes a new connection this fine Thanksgiving, Hayley's not a happy camper. She doesn't appreciate Bill finding comfort in a Dupree tradition. Additionally, Andre and Dani's honeymoon bliss is already over. They're back home for 2 seconds, and they already have a disaster on their hands. Finally, Eva gets to spend the holiday with both of her parents. The Wednesday, November 19th, and Thursday, November 20th. Episodes of Beyond the Gates were heated, and we're not talking about Dani and Andre's Los Angeles honeymoon kind of heated. Nope. There were confrontations between Leslie and Shanice. Leslie also had an intense interaction with Vernon and Anita. But those aren't the conversations that have the BTG fandom buzzing. It's all about Martin, Eva, and Kat, and what happened at Uptown. Martin, the politician, found himself smack dab in the middle of half-siblings who hate each other. He made a choice between his sisters, and he didn't come down on Kat's side. Fans are being pretty vocal about his choice. Martin and Kat already had beef way before the scenes at Uptown. Big Brother couldn't compute how Kat let his daughter, Samantha, hear Kat rave about her sex life with Tomas. He confronted his sister, and things got intense, and then they went to their separate corners. This week, he finally texted her, potentially to get their relationship back on track. But when Martin didn't hear back from Kat, he ended up sitting down with Eva, who happened to be at the restaurant and bar. The siblings got to know each other, but their conversation turned into a venting session about Kat. Martin essentially trashed his sister, sharing certain facts and opinions about her life that should never have been revealed. After all, he knows how Eva and Kat feel about each other. Eva, to be expected, relished everything Martin had to say. She was happy to be interacting with a sibling who didn't want to run her out of town. Martin assumed Kat ghosted him and felt free to vent. Meanwhile, she arrived at Uptown and had time to overhear everything they said. After Martin left, Kat sat down with Eva and proceeded to call her out on Eva's chat with Martin. Kat went too far, however, and told Eva that she basically wished she had never been born. If she hadn't, everybody's life would be better. Martin, who had doubled back to retrieve the scarf he had left, overheard every word. That was Wednesday. On Thursday, more intensity and toxic sibling drama. As all three siblings sat in the booth, he lit into Kat about everything. She even told him about Eva sleeping with Tomas. Even though he did take issue with that, it didn't matter. He only reserved heat for Kat. Needless to say, nothing was resolved. Martin and Kat's sibling bond is in disrepair. Kat left, essentially saying she'll see him when she sees him. BTG fans seem to be split when it comes to Team Kat versus Team Eva. As for Martin, there were many opinions on his behavior. Many weren't happy with him. One fan on X just needs a little FaceTime with the congressman. Martin, come outside. We just want to talk. Hat beyond the gates. Hashtag BTG. Over on Blue Sky, a BTG fan said, Martin has known Eva for all of 5 minutes and only knows the good side, but he feels comfortable talking sideways about Kat? He trusts Eva, who humiliated his mother, over Kat? Ain't no way. On Threads, a fan appreciated the writing during Thursday's episode. I do appreciate the more balanced writing today. Martin and Chelsea did acknowledge both Kat and Eva's POV in this messy scenario that Leslie and Ted created, much better than people playing pile-on with Kat. Another Threads poster enjoyed the dynamic between Martin and Eva. Martin's actually being big brotherly with Eva. Meanwhile, BTG's Brandon Claben, Colby Muhammad, and Eva managed to have fun with the sibling drama. The actors collaborated on this Instagram video they posted in response to what happened on Wednesday's episode. Here are your Beyond the Gates spoilers for next week. Here's a look ahead at the episodes we'll see from Monday, November 24th to Friday, November 28th, 2025. Hayley Hamilton runs into Izaiah Hawthorne at the Fairmont Crest Country Club, and she's all smiles again. And the flirt game is strong with this one. After both of them got doe-eyed at each other, Hayley left Izaiah hanging on each last word she said with, "What can I say? I am a fool for love." The scene closes with Izaiah looking back at Hayley as she walks away, looking like a panther on the prowl. Also, taking place at the Fairmont Crest Country Club, Bill runs into his junior lawyer, Tomas. Bill begins by saying, "Loyalty matters a lot to me, Tomas. That's why I want to talk to you about your future at the firm." This would explain the look of frozen fear on Tomas's face. Or is it the complete lack of understanding where this is coming from? At Uptown, Marcel Malone is having a beer when he spies Ms. Leslie Thomas sitting alone and calls out, "Hello there, pretty lady." Leslie recognizes him immediately and lets him know that she knows he's a cop. Joining her at her table with his beer in hand, Marcel inquires if this is a problem. Just then, Ted is walking into Uptown and sees the two sitting together. Ted knows just the kind of man that Marcel is, and what he is capable of, and what Leslie and Marcel working together might be able to produce. Not a damn good thing at all. Still at the country club, Bill is eating with his wife Hayley when she remarks with disdain that Bill bringing her here when his ex is here as well wasn't a good move at all. "Why would you do that?" asks Hayley, leaving Bill speechless. To close out our sneak peek for next week, we see Dani and Andre at her place, and the shrill scream of fire alarms fills the air. Andre is yelling, "Where is the fire extinguisher?" Next, we see the oven open, and Andre is blasting the CO2 extinguisher, presumably putting out a blazing turkey. Great start, people. Great start. The holiday week arrives in Beyond the Gates, and families decide how and where to celebrate. Some residents hope for calm, while others brace for complications. Upcoming episodes bring personal choices, shifting relationships, and meaningful moments, and fans will want to see how they unfold. Kat enters the week feeling unsure about how to repair relationships she once valued. Nicole steps in and gently offers advice, suggesting Kat may be able to fix more than one strained bond if she slows down and listens. Izaiah also seeks clarity as he prepares for holiday plans involving the Hawthorns. Friends remind him to stay honest about his needs, and he tries to balance loyalty, love, and tradition. Leslie experiences a surprise when she forms an unexpected connection, something she didn't see coming but can't stop thinking about. At the firm, Tomas receives a serious warning about his future, and he realizes he must make changes or risk losing his position. Joey and Vanessa choose a different approach to the holiday by celebrating privately. The quiet time together allows them to be fully present without outside stress. Across town, Hayley grows irritated when Bill embraces a Dupree family tradition, and she struggles to understand why he finds comfort somewhere other than home. Andre and Dani face a problem that disrupts their plans, forcing them to deal with an unexpected mess. Meanwhile, the Richardson-Smith home becomes the center of curiosity after the family welcomes a special guest for the holiday, leaving everyone eager to know what the visit could mean. Eva finally experiences something she has long hoped for. She spends the day with both of her parents, turning the holiday into a moment she will always remember. After Tuesday's episode, Wednesday and Thursday air repeats, offering viewers a breather during the holiday week. Friday's episode is preempted, placing all developing storylines on a temporary hold. Fans may soon find out whether Kat takes Nicole's advice, if Tomas works hard enough to protect his career, and how the Richardson-Smith household adjusts to its unexpected visitor once new episodes return. Stay tuned to Soap Opera Daily for more Beyond the Gates updates, spoilers, and news. The Wednesday, November 19th, and Thursday, November 20th. Episodes of Beyond the Gates were heated, and we're not talking about Dani and Andre's Los Angeles honeymoon kind of heated. Nope. There were confrontations between Leslie and Shanice. Leslie also had an intense interaction with Vernon and Anita, but those aren't the conversations that have the BTG fandom buzzing. It's all about Martin, Eva, and Kat, and what happened at Uptown. Martin, the politician, found himself smack dab in the middle of half-siblings who hate each other. He made a choice between his sisters, and he didn't come down on Kat's side. Fans are being pretty vocal about his choice. Martin and Kat already had beef way before the scenes at Uptown. Big Brother couldn't compute how Kat let his daughter, Samantha, hear Kat rave about her sex life with Tomas. He confronted his sister, and things got intense, and then they went to their separate corners. This week, he finally texted her, potentially to get their relationship back on track. But when Martin didn't hear back from Kat, he ended up sitting down with Eva, who happened to be at the restaurant/bar. The siblings got to know each other, but their conversation turned into a venting session about Kat. Martin essentially trashed his sister, sharing certain facts and opinions about her life that should never have been revealed. After all, he knows how Eva and Kat feel about each other. Eva, to be expected, relished everything Martin had to say. She was happy to be interacting with a sibling who didn't want to run her out of town. Martin assumed Kat ghosted him and felt free to vent. Meanwhile, she arrived at Uptown and had time to overhear everything they said. After Martin left, Kat sat down with Eva and proceeded to call her out on Eva's chat with Martin. Kat went too far, however, and told Eva that she basically wished she had never been born. If she hadn't, everybody's life would be better. Martin, who had doubled back to retrieve the scarf he had left, overheard every word. That was Wednesday. On Thursday, more intensity and toxic sibling drama. As all three siblings sat in the booth, he lit into Kat about everything. She even told him about Eva sleeping with Tomas. Even though he did take issue with that, it didn't matter. He only reserved heat for Kat. Needless to say, nothing was resolved. Martin and Kat's sibling bond is in disrepair. Kat left, essentially saying she'll see him when she sees him. Over on Blue Sky, a BTG fan said, "Martin has known Eva for all of 5 minutes and only knows the good side, but he feels comfortable talking sideways about Kat? He trusts Eva, who humiliated his mother over Kat? Ain't no way." On Threads, a fan appreciated the writing during Thursday's episode. "I do appreciate the more balanced writing today. Martin and Chelsea did acknowledge both Kat and Eva's POV in this messy scenario that Leslie and Ted created. Much better than people playing pile-on with Kat." Another Threads poster enjoyed the dynamic between Martin and Eva. Martin's actually being big brotherly with Eva. Someone else has come to a new understanding of Kat and Martin. Now I see why Kat said she would choose Smitty if him and Martin ever got a divorce. Beyond the Gates and BTG,